YouTube. Crazy word.
Yo, that's crazy.
Who this nigga on that name?
Oh, ain't nobody but me, boss. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bag TV. Man, if you don't get your goof ass in here and hit the bag. All right, man. A lot of people in the outrage over this Lamont Roach Tank Davis fight, man. And a lot of Tank Davis fans are in denial. Oh, it's starting to get shameful now. And it ain't but a handful. Matter of fact, shout out to all of the Tank Davis fans who are extremely loyal, rock with Tank the long way, but you were still man enough or woman enough to admit that this dude lost. All right. Even though, it was a majority draw, the consensus is in, bro. The world has spoken, right? That nigga lost. If you not saying that Tank Davis lost, don't be running around here talking about Devin Haney lost. That's all I'm saying. In my opinion, both of them niggas lost. And Ryan is no different. He seen the fight, of course, took to social media and let it all hang out, especially when it came to the New York Boxing Commission and to Tank Davis himself. But respectfully, this is what Ryan had to say. He says, yo, Lamont won that fight. Not calling that knockdown is the most wild thing I've ever seen in boxing. The type of stuff that makes boxing look bad. Crazy I see y'all May 2nd. He follows that up with, what I'm wondering is if the commission only makes changes when you complain and cry, like Haney, and they actually care about the integrity of the sport. Nothing against Tank, but since the commission switches my victory, they should switch this victory for Roach, right? They won't though, because they were out to get me from the beginning, all right? So he's saying, listen, they switched my victory, they should be switching his victory. But I think the difference is if you switch this victory, you would be switching the scorecards. I don't think they didn't switch the actual scorecards in the Ryan Garcia Haney. They just made it a DQ, right? Because he popped positive for Ostring. Now, what is interesting though, and I'm gonna talk about that in a video a little bit later, is the whole DQ situation according to Rick Glazier. And I'm gonna do a little bit more research myself, because Lamont is hinting to maybe that 30-0 and 1 for Tank could potentially turn into a 30-1. It's interesting. All right. Ryan went on to say this as well. I ain't no hater either. I like Tank. I think he's a great fighter. He had an off night and Lamont fought great. It's simple. But I'm tired of the inconsistency in boxing. It's weird. I had the ref save Haney from getting stopped, never called Haney for holding on for dear life, and took a point away from me with no warning. And then this made up story about me having Ostring came up, and it's just BS. All this just angers me, and I'm gonna take it out on Rolly May 2nd. End quote from Ryan Garcia. All right, so according to Ryan Garcia, man, he just feels like, some inconsistencies there, and something should happen in this particular fight, especially given the knee situation. And you know what's crazy? Google switched what they initially said. Like before this whole controversy with this Tank Davis fight, it was saying the same thing when it came to the definition of taking a knee. And it kept saying the same thing. If a fighter voluntarily takes a knee, it's normally considered a knockdown. You get an 8 count, and it's a 10-8 round. Excuse me. And now, since this whole Tank Davis situation has taken place, it actually changed, bro. I swear to God, man, they changed what it said initially, and now it says something to the tune of, hold on, let me see if I can try. My boy just put it in the junk for me. It says a knee is not counted as a knockdown in boxing. And I promise y'all I didn't say this at first. But now they're trying to be more specific with the definition because of this controversy. It says a knee is not counted as a knockdown in boxing. When a boxer intentionally takes a knee to the canvas, not as a result of being hit by a punch, which he was. If you guys paid close attention, he touched him. There was a pause, a delayed reaction. He looks at the ref and takes a knee. Not as a result of being hit by a punch. And the referee determines that the action was not due to being knocked down, but rather for a reason like adjusting equipment or wiping something from their eyes. This is considered a slip and not a knockdown, even if their knee touches the canvas. And I promise you, Google was not giving us that definition prior to this incident. But again, we clearly see Tank get touched on the eye with the glove before he took a knee. And historically, you take a knee, you get an 8 count, it's a 10-8 round. But according to everything that I'm reading now, they're basically saying it's up to the referee what he determines. So in this situation with Tank Davis, Steve Willis, who started to actually count, and Tank was like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you counting? At that point, when he started to count, it should have been solidified. It should have been written in stone and concrete, a 10-8 round, a knockdown, because he actually started to count. Then this Negro stops the count and gives Tank, a passage, basically, right? He bails him out of a knockdown. But basically what it's saying is up to the referee. At that point, he has to use his discretion, and it's up to the referee whether or not to consider it a knockdown, call it a knockdown, start an 8 count or not. And in this situation, he did not, which many believe he should have. And if you watch the film closely again, he actually touched him. He barely touched him, but he touched him. Delayed reaction, Tank takes a knee. It technically should have been called a knockdown. Just saying. All right, man. Definitely want to know y'all's thoughts in the comments. So all I got for you on this one, Big T.O. Heavy Bag. I am out of here. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.